So, I truly feel the need to talk about biblical success and, worldly success. Because I believe that a part of what have like a lot of our people in a chokehold is this worldly success. And what we've been taught is, success. And I guess I can give my own example that I have. For those who don't know, I used to be a full-time hairstylist. So what you see on my page is not what it has always been. Like, my first Instagram consisted of probably like 12,000 followers, right? Like, that's considered, I guess, having a large following. Well, depending on your standard. But I had a very large following, or I had gained, I should say, a very large following. And that was due to me doing hair because I was full time. I had eventually started doing celebrities hair. And with me doing, celebrities hair, that brought on even more clients, that brought on even more attention, that brought on even more people. I just had a very, very, I guess you can say, big platform. And when, I was in the world, I like to say, because that's basically what it was. When I was in the world, I received so much love, like so much love. People that I didn't even really associate with for real was, commenting, sharing, these posts that like the celebrities would post. They would share it because they like, man, you done made it. Mind you, I've been doing hair since 2015 is when I became licensed, and then moved to Atlanta 2017, and really from there I guess you can say, took off, and I started gaining a lot of clients. My Instagram started growing, and just getting a lot of love. It's like a lot of support. A lot of people were supporting because they're like, oh, you done made it now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're doing, this person here. You're doing that person here. Like, like people, though I had already been doing this for so long, and I had a pretty good clientele even outside of the celebrities, but people, they saw me doing that as success. They saw me doing that as I've made it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good. And to be honest, I did myself. Like, for the longest, I longed to become a celebrity hairstylist. Like, that was something I would pray about, who I referred to as God at the time. At the time, I would talk to God about it, like, and I would, because at the time I was into like manifestation. So I would write down, these different affirmations so that it would come to be. So I would always write, like, I'm a celebrity hairstylist, like, until it actually happened. And I also, too, fell to the deception of, true success. I thought I was successful, like, I'm getting all the likes, I'm getting all the shares, like, celebrities know who I am, they talking about me, on this, show or whatever. Like, it felt good, you know what I'm saying? But
a whipper. That lady whipped your baby hair.
Listen.
And until you actually had hair and put it in the braid.
You did. Hey, salute to Tuesday, man, and Lito.
Who braided your hair?
It's a young lady with the grip of the mightiest grip in the world. She actually down here in Atlanta. Her name is Tuesday, man. So if you need your hair braided, if she can do this, then if you got a full head of hair, you really ain't got no excuse. So go holler at her.
She work at Carlito
You know what
shop?
I mean? Fabulous Tuesday. Yeah, and my boy Lito shop.
Okay.
We'll make sure you got
I began to have conflict, within some of these, people's hair I was doing. I was beginning to have to drop everything every time, one of these celebrities wanted their hair done. I would have to drop everything. And again, I had a lot of clients. I had a lot of regular clients. So I have people that's coming to me every month. And at this time, I'm probably rotating like almost 100 people. You know what I'm saying? So it was really hard to schedule my regular clients when I had these other, clients that would come in last minute, like, oh, I got a show, I got an interview, I got this, I got that, I got a photo shoot, can you get me in? And it got to the point where I'm like, dang, like, it was like a moral test. The more these people hair I was doing, I remember I would talk to my husband like, man, like, I don't like this. Like, I don't like, how, they just come and hit me up and now I gotta just drop everything. You know what I'm saying? I gotta just accommodate them because of who they are. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's not right. I started to feel, I guess you can say, convicted, because why am I, showing respect of persons to these celebrities? Why am I putting these celebrities first before my actual loyal clients, people that's been with me for years, people that come every month, So it started to really hit me, and it started to get to me. And then I started getting more into the word. I started reading the Bible because I just wanted a change. I wanted to be better. I wanted to live better because I was definitely living a very sinful, willfully sinning lifestyle. Drinking, partying, smoking, wearing, clothing that was very extremely revealing, not having respect for myself, not having respect for, and this is before my husband, but not having respect for my body, like, so much, you know what I'm saying? And the Most High definitely had to show me, like, no, you know what I'm saying? This is really not what you want. This isn't really true success. And after coming out of the world and transitioning into who I am today, I remember, reading the word. Like, it started when I was working at the barbershop. I was reading the word, like I would have the word playing in my ear. And the more I began to read the word and listen to the word, I'm like, I'm doing a lot of stuff that I should not be doing. And I was introduced by a friend of mine to Pastor Darby. And, from listening to him to learning about getting introduced to Truth Unedited, it just really opened that door for truth to come in, for the veil to be removed, for me to understand what the Most High requires of me. It's a whole lot of change. And as I'm making these different changes, I would post about them. You know what I'm saying? Like, and with me posting about these different changes and just posting about all this truth that I'm finding out, it turned a lot of people away. And this is still when I had my, a bigger following. And I would just be posting this stuff. I'm talking about homosexuality. I'm talking about abortions. I'm talking about, just how we're not supposed to be doing this, how we're not supposed to be doing that. I'm talking about the music. Like, coming for all these different things that, we're naturally into, you know what I'm saying, with being in the world. And it definitely rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, because that's not what, we're used to. That's not what we're used to. What I began to see, though, is like people was pretty much starting to hate me. You know what I'm saying? People were starting to hate me due to the things that I was speaking against. So it wasn't so much, you know, me, I guess it wasn't me personally. Like, I understand that now. I didn't understand it before, but it wasn't me personally that they felt attacked by. It was the things I was coming against. You know what I'm saying? It was strongholds that I was, speaking against, generational curses, and so much and so forth. And so with that, I began to, see the difference. So I started living a more righteous lifestyle. I started dressing more modest. I got married. I started having children and, doing those type of things. I stopped working full time. And so I went from being this young, celebrity, hairstylist to this lady that is always talking about the Bible, always telling people what they need to they need to stop doing, always talking about what's right, what's wrong, you know what I'm saying? And from there, and now I'm just, talking about my children. Now I'm just, just talking about the word. And it's like I saw the difference. I saw the praise decrease. I saw the support decrease. Like, the more I came out of the world and out of that worldly success and into a more biblical success, I saw the difference in the support. And it was really hitting me because I'm like, man, like, when I was drinking, when I was getting drunk, when I was going to this club, when I was going to that club, when I was, doing this person here, that person here, it was so much love. It was so much support. It was so much praise, you know what I'm saying? And exalting. But now that I'm actually doing something that I'm supposed to be doing, I'm doing what the Most High God want us to do, now it's like, oh, who does she think she is? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's total opposite. And sometimes it's still shocking to me because it's like, and not that I need that praise, right? I don't need that praise and I don't need that validation. But it's just crazy to see the difference. It's like this worldly lifestyle and this worldly success is acceptable. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. You're doing great. But when I transition into a more biblical way of living, that wasn't looked at as success. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially since my family struggled, you know what I'm saying, for some time and like financially. So after me stop working, that brought on financial hardships. And I can admit it was due to disobedience because I stopped working completely, and that's not what the Most High, wanted me to do. He wanted me to get to a place of being humble enough to, stop working when I need to, but also being humble enough to start back working when I need to. And at the time, I was not humble enough to start back working. Like, I just wanted to be home with my baby because at the time I just had my daughter. So I just wanted to be home with my daughter. That's it. But, not being young in the faith, I guess you can say, and not understanding, like, no, it's more to you being a homemaker. It's more, it's more to these things. So being that, we had those financial struggles and we had began living this different lifestyle, people definitely didn't see that as success because they like, oh, you serving God, God, but you getting evicted. You serving God, but you ain't got no food to eat. You asking for money. You know what I'm saying? But those different things don't have, anything to do with, us not walking like uprightly. Well, to an extent, but not in the way that the world looked at. You know what I'm saying? From a spiritual point of view, yes, we did go through those things because we wasn't keeping the Most High commandments. We wasn't being obedient to what he commanded us to do. So yeah, you're gonna go through it when you're outside of the Most High's will. We wasn't going through it because we was doing something wrong as far as serving God. You know what I'm saying? Serving the Most High. No, we were right to be serving the Most High. We were right to stop doing this and stop doing that. Like, the Most High saw our hearts. People began to mock us because they're like, they're confused. They're like, oh, if you, so blessed, or you serving God, or you doing this and that for God, like, why are you struggling? You know what I'm saying? This isn't success. Like, you used to have it all. You had money. You had, the clientele. You had this and you had that. But not understanding, like, yeah, when I had those things, when I had that worldly success, I was in the peak of my sin. Like, had I died, I was gonna be in that lake of fire. I was going to hell. You know what I'm saying? And that's what people don't understand. And that's why I say, like, we as a people have to understand, like, what's biblical success and what's worldly success, because that worldly success is nothing. And that's how Satan tempts us. He did the same thing to the Messiah. He told him, oh, I'll give you the world if you do this, if you do that, when he was fasting. And Satan comes to do the same thing with us. He tempts us with this worldly success, thinking that we'll be finally content, thinking that we'll be validated. And it literally means nothing, because without the Most High, this is all vanity. This is all, trash. All this stuff is going to be destroyed. You know what I'm saying? So the things that we should be truly seeking are the things that are not of this world, such as seeking the Most High in his kingdom, seeking YAHUSHA, the Messiah, his son. Those are the things that we should be seeking after. We shouldn't be seeking after money, houses, cars, and this best job, and like, all that stuff means nothing.